Hey, what is going on, you timid Typhlosion? That's right, I went on a 19-game win streak with Tank Megas, the deck that is trying to take advantage of the Wally's compassion. Before I jump into it and break it all down, gotta give a huge shout out, of course, to Dragon Shield for sponsoring the channel. They've got a ton of high-quality card game accessories, playmats, deck boxes, and of course the card sleeves. So many different colors and styles to choose from. Mine favorite is, of course, the matte style of sleeves, and they did come out with a couple new colors in the matte style, pink sapphire and this blue color, and I'm not gonna try and pronounce the name of the color because I just can't do it. Check it all out over at dragonshield.com. They got something for everyone over there. Link, of course, will be in the description, and code AzulGG will get you a discount as well. So like I mentioned, this Tank Megas deck, I'd actually come at y'all with a build not that long ago that was just Mega Froslass, and I really like the idea of the deck, and it felt like it was pretty powerful in the current metagame. This build I originally took from Christoph, who got top 32 at the Prague Regional Championships. It's a mix of the Mega Froslass and the Mega Lopunny, so two options for attackers. And I've also been seeing some people play builds with just Mega Lopunny, and I have given that some thought myself. Your matchup spread does become a little bit more narrow because, of course, Mega Lopunny is weak to fighting. So that means stuff like Garchomp and Mega Lucario become basically unwinnable. But when you get the Mega Froslass involved in a build like this, those matchups become winnable. But it's also just kind of nice to have the Mega Froslass, even going up against something like a Dragapult deck. It's pretty cool to be able to prevent them from building those massive hands they like to build up for big combo plays, and forcing them to constantly have to aggressively play resources sooner than they would like can give us just kind of a neutral advantage that way as well. So the Mega Froslass is just kind of cool to have. Also, I guess up against like Slotbox, having a way to one-hit KO their Kangaskhan, or potentially one-hit KO their Kangaskhan if they end up with 6 or more cards in their hand, is also kind of cool. So I do like the addition of the Mega Froslass alongside the Lopunny, and I definitely think you want to get Lopunny involved. After playing with the old build that I shared here on the YouTube channel where it was just Mega Froslass, now having tried this build with Mega Froslass and Mega Lopunny, I definitely feel like this is the stronger of those two builds. And I think depending on the right metagame, using just Mega Lopunny could also work, but that is not a build I've investigated so far yet. For anyone who's curious of how this deck functions outside of knowing the main attackers, it's all about abusing Wally's compassion. Like I mentioned, this heals one of our Mega Pokemon, then we put an energy, attach that Pokemon into our hand. Mega Froslass and Mega Lopunny both each attack for a single energy, which means we can loop their attacks turn after turn after turn while fully healing them from all the damage our opponent did on their turn. And if our opponent decides to boss KO like a Dunsparce or the Dunsparce off our bench instead, we could boss for turn, or Lillie or Hilda set up another attacker. Now, I did make a couple changes from Christoph's build that he used to get top 32 in Prague. I added a Pokégear over the third Hilda because the Hildas felt kind of overkill. I put the Psyduck in there as well. Pult Dusknoir seems to be having a rise in popularity, and there's like other Dusknoir decks out there as well, like the Mega Starmie Dusknoir deck, and the occasional Mega Diancie Dusknoir deck as well. So wanted some Dusknoir protection, so I got the Psyduck in there. Shaymin here for the bench protection. It is a Dunsparce engine deck, because we need to somehow continuously draw through our deck and find our Wally's compassion. So 4-3-1 to Dunsparce with 1 to Dunsparce EX. This card is okay. The matchup that this is strongest against is Raging Bolt, because it kind of allows us to stay on tempo against Raging Bolt and just kind of go 2 for 2 against them. But overall, I don't even know if we need to be playing this right now. If you want to beat Crustle, that'd be a reason to keep it in the deck, and it is conveniently just a 1-of to be able to beat Crustle. So that's like another thing it does for you, but it definitely doesn't feel essential. Definitely feels like a metagame specific card overall. 2-2 Lopunny, 2-2 Mega Froslass. This feels like way more than enough as far as our attackers go. 1 Chien-Pao. This is mostly in here just to be able to deal with Watchtower. Watchtower is super annoying, so having a counter for that is nice. 1 Fan Rotom in here. Sometimes in the early game, it's nice to have this to set up more Dunsparces and Bunearys through a single Pokemon search use, whether that be half a Buddy Poffin or a Poké Pad. Find the Fan Rotom, that can find us Bunearys or Dunsparces, depending on what we need for the situation, of course. 1 of Meowth, help us find those key supporters that we need on those certain turns. Sometimes putting a 2-prize Pokemon in play like Meowth isn't terrible to find Wally's compassion. Usually it's not great, but if our opponent has 3 prize cards left and we can full heal and make a Pokemon they just hit, that kind of works out there pretty good. 3 bosses orders for our gust effects. For the Pokemon search cards, of course, we max those out because we need to be churning out those Dunsparces turn after turn after turn. 4 Buddy Poffin, 4 Poké Pad, 4 Ultra Ball. Also, make sure you choose first with this deck. I was choosing second a lot with the deck during my 19-game win streak, but I think it is probably better to go first overall. Going first in this format, I hate. It just doesn't feel as good as going second, but what feels good isn't what wins us the most games. I think going second is probably best with the deck, so go second. Hero's Cape is the ace spec in here. Sometimes we want to be a little bit beefier than the 330 or 310 of our Mega Pokemon. So 430, 410 becomes an option. And that's specifically important in matchups like the like Mega Lucario matchup. Getting the Hero's Cape, putting it on our Mega Froslass, really, really big deal to ever have a chance in that one. Couple stadiums. Being able to bump Watchtower outside of the Chien-Pao is nice, and Battle Cage is really good against Dragapult as well. So a couple of Battle Cages in there. 3 water, 4 Mist Energy for the energy count. That's another thing cool about using the Lopunny and not just Mega Froslass as well, is we get to play Mist Energy, which gives us a win condition against Alakazam, and then also is good against Dragapult because it stops the spread damage from Dragapult on some of our Pokemon. So that is also pretty cool. Just one Night Stretcher in here for recovery. This feels like more than enough for sure. And I don't think there's anything else to make note of. I mentioned Dunsparce EX. Feels like it might just not be worth it. Air Balloons are okay. One thing cool with the Air Balloon is when we attack with the Mega Lopunny with the Gale Thrust, if we have an Air Balloon on it, we can retreat it with the Air Balloon into a Dudunsparce, then cycle the Dudunsparce out, Wally's Compassion, heal the Mega Lopunny, and just reattach the energy for turn. But I have found that we run into energy pretty often, so that's really not that big of a deal to set up, to be honest. I could theoretically see this deck actually just not playing Air Balloon overall, so that would maybe be something to try out. Maybe just play like a higher energy count, because I find myself often having enough energy to go from bunny to bunny, and it is fairly often that we can set up extra energy in play, whether that be on a follow-up attacker, or just attaching twice to the same Mega Lopunny, getting that extra energy in play ahead of time. So then we can like hard retreat it, then Wally's Compassionate, then reattach for turn, and then Gale Thrust, and kind of go from there. Oh, I guess we have the Spiky Hopper. So we don't... The Dunsparce EX is a tech card for... Yeah, ignore what I said earlier about using the Dunsparce EX as our Crustle tech, because Spiky Hopper for Mega Lopunny does the exact same. I completely forgot we had Spiky Hopper. We do use that sometimes, not often. We're usually Gale Thrusting or Resentful Refraining. But yeah, the Dunsparce EX is like okay. Like I said, it's really good against Slot Box, but it's unnecessary to beat them. We can kind of beat them straight up with Mega Lopunny anyways. The matchup where it feels like it is strongest is Raging Bolt, because they can one-hit KO us through our Hero's Cape, and it's not even that difficult for them to do that, to be honest. So having like a 2-prize Pokemon that can one-hit KO them aggressively back and forth makes a pretty big difference. And we can chain it a couple times, maybe with the Night Stretcher, and then close out the game with the Lopunny. But that's it. That's the tank. I don't even know what to call this deck. Tank Megas. We use Lopunny more than we use Froslass, the Mega Froslass, but both come up a decent amount of the time. It's all about being tanky, that's for sure. So tank Megas, Mega Tanks. But yeah, I did go on a 19-game win streak, which means there's plenty of other gameplay on the secondary YouTube channel to check out. So if you want to see some more games from me with this deck, check out the secondary YouTube channel, AzulGG 2. Link will be in the description. And with that said, let's jump into it, and I'll show y'all how it runs. Also on Mega Starmie. I think that deck is good. I'm playing Bolt Blaziken, and the tech is Baby Blaziken. I mean, I don't love the idea of Baby Blaziken, but if it works, it works. Ooh, we could actually donk them if I get a stadium. Do today so I can get the deck to play. You're not going to LA, Jake. Don't lie. I hit the same opponent. Maybe. I kind of want to play for the donk. I'm going to play for the donk here. Never lucky. Actually, my hand sucks. Not great. You can have my Fan Rotom though. We're going to Indy lock in a 60, same diff. True. Wait, isn't Indy the week after Melbourne? Or am I trolling? I actually don't remember. There's Champions League this weekend, yeah. Yeah, Baby Blaziken. What was I saying? Oh, Baby Blaziken. I don't love the idea of Baby Blaziken. Just because it's hard to use the card, because it's hard to set up 2 Blazikens. But it's a more powerful card than the Chi-Yu, that's for sure. My hand is definitely just dead here. But if it works to beat Crustle, then it seems fine. It's like not a bad card. I could just see it not working to beat Crustle because it means you have to set up 2 Blazikens to actually get the thing to function. Which means if you prize, there's so many other pieces you could prize, and you could just struggle to get to the second Blaziken by the time they can boss KO a Torchic. So if it works, it works. Yeah, it works, it works. And then for LA, dude, I'm not gonna lie. I think I would be one of the people who didn't tech for Crustle. I don't think I would tech for Crustle. I think I would hope everyone else does it for me. So yeah. I didn't realize how many cards. Well, no, the Chi-Yu is better than the Tauros because Chi-Yu is good against Festival Lead, right? That's another reason to play the Chi-Yu because it discards the. It's good against Festival Lead. It is actually obnoxious how many tech cards exist currently to beat Festival Lead. Like, why'd they print so many cards against Festival Lead? I do agree they can be tricky to set up, but if they get set up, it's goated. Yeah, sure. But something being good when it gets set up and something being not easy to set up. The question is just like, does it increase our win rate? That's the question you have to ask yourself. If you think it increases your win rate, that's it. So the only thing that matters. If it doesn't increase our win rate, it's not worth including. I kind of want to actually cycle this. Okay. Gives me a little bit more to work with. Nothing crazy, though. I mean, the 60 HP one is to have one that has free retreat. But obviously going up against Pult. We have 3 other ones that have 70 HP, so it's not that big of a deal. Also, Pult can reach for 70 damage like pretty reasonably. Like they have Ruins and Monkey Dory and stuff like that. So having 60 HP or 70 HP against Pult actually isn't that big of a difference in the late game when it actually matters. Azul lead has fish, so I don't know how good Chi-Yu is. Yeah, but you can't afford to set up the Goldeen against Pult, though. That's the thing. Setting up Goldeen against Pult's like... Setting up Goldeen and Rabsca is not good. Your bench would suck. I think the Pult player would be okay if your bench has Goldeen and Rabsca on it. If you don't have Rabsca, you lose. If you have Rabsca, and then you also set up Goldeen to deal with Chi-Yu, they just boss KO your lone applet in play and they beat you. So I don't think that's a good enough answer. Chi-Yu or Goldeen? Wait, what? Goldeen or Chi-Yu? Chi-Yu gotta be stronger than Fraudfish. Which fish is stronger? Oh, the stronger of the two. I mean, Chi-Yu is probably a stronger fish for sure. Not as powerful as Tatsugiri, though. I actually don't know how I'm going to play this turn. My hand's a little sketch. There's a lack of power. Not terrible, though. I think all the Baby Decidueye is the answer. Hasn't it already been determined that the Baby Decidueye sucks? I'm pretty sure the Baby Decidueye is just not good. It does 120 damage, and then they just knock you out and play a thing, right? I thought this was like well known. I thought it was well documented that the Baby Decidueye is actually just terrible. I actually might give up the cat here. I really don't want to put the cat in play. Although maybe, because I just want to leave double Dunsparce in play more so than anything. But they have 4... Oh, I can actually punch him with the Dunsparce EX here, right? Ah, but it's prized. But of course, I could just set up second bunny. Second bunny could be the move. The second bunny could die to this Ogerpon, though. You just carded it, right? Oh, I did. What the heck? When did that... Oh. What did I say? When did I discard this thing? Alright, sorry. He's back. Good catch, chat. Good catch. First turn. Ape's good. What were we just talking about? Talking about fishes. Oh yeah, I think the Chi-Yu is still, I don't know, the Baby Blaziken is just weird because it's just so hard to utilize. It's theoretically good in every single matchup, but because only if you're playing like a 2 Torchic build, I think you have to like cater the build more towards. If you cater the build more towards Blaziken, then Baby Blaziken makes more sense. But honestly, the Chi-Yu is just really, really strong right now, I feel like, because of the Festival Lead matchup. It should beat Crustle for you, and then also good against Festival Lead. I don't know, it seems good. Having a tech for Festival Lead just seems kind of like having a 2-for-1 like that is just nice. I think Ho-Oh's naturally is better than Baby Blaziken. If you're looking for a pure Crustle tech, Baby Blaziken is the better card. Like the highest power card you could play that probably also beats Crustle is Baby Blaziken. Like I don't disagree with that. Though I don't think there's like a question. Like Baby Blaziken is really good. Like it's the highest power card, but it's also the most awkward card to ever set up and include in your deck. So yeah, I don't think it gets better than. I think it's better than Baby Blaziken. The thing's kind of gross. But it's the most awkward. It is the most awkward of the cards. The Ho that hits harder if you have a Terra. Yeah, I think that's the one that Scrub's talking about. Oh, you said neutrally. I thought you said naturally. Neutrally, just the best card. I actually disagree with that. I think the Blaziken is neutrally the best card. The best card to play, to be honest, because it is just the most powerful one. Like the Ho doesn't do that much for you that other cards don't do. I think I'd still disagree with that based on just how powerful Baby Blaziken is. Baby Blaziken is gonna have the highest impact if it's able to be set up in the most matchups, for sure. I feel like if you play the Ho-Oh, you just like would never even think about using it in like most situations. So I gotta know that I meant Baby Diancie and not Baby Decidueye, just to know if it cooks or not. Yeah, I know you said Baby Diancie. The Baby Diancie is terrible. They literally just play a ice cream and then KO it, and then you do it again and they play an ice cream and they KO it. And then if you do it again, they have another Crustle at that point. They still just beat you. They only have 3. Y'all are like, the people who think Baby Diancie is good, like saw that one picture on Twitter of the Crustle with 6 energy, and they're like, oh, that's 300 damage. They only have to put 3 special energy. Or that's not even 300 damage. That's 240 damage. That doesn't even KO a Crustle. That doesn't even one-hit KO Crustle. It'd be a good 2-hit. They only have to put 3 energy on their Crustle. They don't have to put more than 3 energy on the Crustle. And Diancie is like literally terrible. It's only good if the player misplays. Yeah, it's not gonna. 6 billion damage. Even if we assume Crustles don't go to heavier Crispin builds, with the Dene and E-Hammer going around, they can get away with just like 2 energy on Crustle. Yeah, exactly. Like, why are we just like lying? Like, what is the point of just lying? Like, why are we just out here lying? Like, what are we doing, man? Man, I love it when my opponent plays the tech cards that lowers my win rate against them. And they found both of them and have them on the. Like, why are we just like lying out here? Like, what are we doing, man? Have you get rage baited by chat a lot? No, there's not rage baiting. People, these are people just saying what they think is true. They believe this. This is beliefs. There's no baiting. There's no raging. Well, I'm raging, but I'm not getting baited. These are real comments. This is the real deal. Goddamn Olive. Y'all love just chalking stuff up to rage bait. Real integrity. I think that could be like an opening. That's like an real comments. No baiting. All the rage. It's real. It's raging. We're baiting. I'm not giving you the runaround this time. It's the real deal. Tune in live. I want the Snorunt? I don't think so. I'm just gonna grab these two and then grab a couple. Coming to you live this Sunday. It's perfect and in order. You consider Lucian in this deck? Nah. We have Lopunny. We don't need Lucian. Honestly, do we even need... What do I even need the Mega Froslass for in here? Should we just, like, not even play the Mega Froslass? Like, what matchups does Mega Froslass make that big of a difference in? I guess against Polt, it's nice to have, like, the both of them set up to have the threat. It's kind of just for Lucario and Garchomp, right? Slops? Well, no, against Slop, the bunny is better. Also good for Zoroark. Sure, could be okay. Yeah, okay. Sure, it's okay against Zoroark. Oh, we can just punch Zoroark with Fan Rotom, like someone in chat mentioned. Punch him with the Fan. Or couldn't you actually hit them for 160 with Spiky Hopper? And then they want to KO your bunny, right? Well, it's assuming they don't punch you ahead of time, I guess. Isn't Dodon the best for slot? Also true, yeah. Well, I mean, the bunny's pretty good as well. They can't really handle money to begin with, to be honest. Oh, wait, that's true. They can Mochi Black Belt one-hit you. I forgot about that. I think it's better Starmie Bomb or Starmie Mega Froslass? Starmie Bomb. It's not even close. Azul, do you ever ask your opponents to show how many cards they draw? I see some people draw off Lillie or Bug Catching set really fast. Well, I'll just ask them how many cards are in their hand. You ever ask your opponents to slow down or show? I don't think I've ever asked my opponent to slow down. I don't think I've ever had an opponent who's playing so fast that I've had to ask them to slow down. But sometimes I'll ask them to like to show, like if I didn't see what they did, got off a Bug Catching set or something, I'll ask them to show me again. Or like as they're going to put it in their hand, I'm like, I didn't see that, and have them show it to me again. Yeah. I have asked someone to speed up, yeah. I know you're trolling, though. If you'll be moving fast, I'll be watching closer. I feel like I never have that thought process in my mind, but it's not a bad... It's definitely not a bad thing to have in mind if people are playing really quickly, to be like, all right, lock in a little bit more yourself. You ask your opponent to play faster? If they're playing at a unreasonable pace of play, yeah.
I
don't really want to KO the Smoliv with a bunny. I really like a Stadium. I actually want to play the Ultra Ball here because it gets rid of 2 dead cards instead of just playing Poké Pad for another Dunsparce. I don't know. I guess I am just going to attack here. But I don't have to, though, right? I could just wait. Well, I already evolved, so now it feels like I have to attack. But I feel like I could have waited, actually, though. If I just sat there on the bench with 2, like, attached to this Buneary and then pass with Fan Rotom my active, like, what are they going to do? There's like, but now they can Unfair Stamp. Now they get Fez Draw. And now that I evolved to the Mega, they can just snipe me on the bench with the Olive if they wanted to, so... I think I should just chill there, to be honest, though. My local scene, most people are pretty stand-up, so I'm never worried. But I did have a game against someone where they tried to attach 2 energies in a turn with Crispin, even though they had already attached. I mean, that's actually a pretty common... oversight people forget about. Like the way people play Crispin, they play as if it like attaches to energy, and then they forget they didn't attach return. You appreciate the $5 super chat there. Pain Bliss, have you tried the Azumarill single prize lately? I have not, no. I'm trying it, but can't find a good out to the 50 damage self-inflicted. 234 energy seems pretty good. Yeah, I have no clue, to be honest. Not something I've attempted at all recently. I can't even remember the last time I played a Azumarill deck. The 50 damage to yourself is like pretty bad though. Yeah, there's the unfair stamp. Okay, that is a pretty good draw though. Not bad. I still think I should have waited though. I think I attacked too early. Is Bomb Lopunny not viable anymore? I think it's just literally just bad Starmie Lopunny or Starmie Dunsparce. It's just a worse deck. Dude, I got something stuck in my teeth. I think I got it. This time, surely I got it. Well, at the very least, I could boss KO the Ogerpon, right? Oh, I almost want to do that. Yeah, let's see what I draw. I mean, that is what I'm doing here. Go from here. Here's one going to Utrecht Regionals. What do you think is better, Arboliva or what makes Mega Starmie Bomb good? I'm thinking of playing competitive decks. Any tips? What makes it good is that it has a good win rate in the metagame. That's it. It does something that gives it a. I mean, it's good because it's an aggressive deck that wins games by being aggressive. Anything that makes any deck good is just it achieving a certain win rate in the metagame, though. But yeah, I think it seems. I think it's a pretty good deck. It's not bad. Here's what I'm going to Utrecht Regionals. What do you think is the best play apart from Pult? Any good deck. I could cycle this. I don't think there's a reason to though. I think I can chill. We should be okay. Here's one to Utrecht Regionals. What do you think I should have for breakfast? At least a banana. Probably get a banana involved. And then, honestly, from there, I don't know. But yeah, at the very least, get a banana involved. Check for boss, I guess. I know the boss is in the deck. Just keep cycling. Okay. Oh, wait, when did I get this cat? Oh wait, I played a supporter this turn. Oh dude, I messed up. What the heck? When did I get the Meowth? I don't even realize when I drew the Meowth. I definitely messed up this turn. I can lose now. I never played the Hilda there. I should always just have played Wally. Yeah, playing the Hilda there was like really bad. Playing Hilda, I always need to like go retreat Wally and then pass, and that's fine. Because now I can just lose to them going boss KO Mega Lopunny, right? A lot, but they could do it. Like there's less jamming tower in decks, but isn't this card much more valuable in the current meta? Yeah, well, it's become more valuable because more people are playing Hero's Cape, but pre-Prog there wasn't that much Hero's Cape to work with. You're using Prog as a reference point for what people are playing at Prog and post-Prog, which is like not how you analyze a metagame. The way you analyze a metagame is being like, okay, this is what happened at Prog. People are now playing this card at a higher frequency. So we expect the counter to this card to increase, but we haven't had another major tournament since Prog. So you can't just go back to Prog and see that no one's playing Jamming Tower and be like, well, why is no one playing Jamming Tower? You have to like reference like what people are doing now or what you think people are going to do. And even what you see on ladder isn't a good representation of what people are going to do at LA. So you kind of have to wait for LA to see how people actually chose to adjust. But like theoretically, there will be more anti-tool cards at LA. You have to wait for LA to actually happen. People are playing more anti-tool cards. There's more tool scrappers and jamming towers than there were pre-Prog or at Prog, post-Prog. So people are literally adapting to the tool cards. And on top of that, people are literally doing the thing. But you can't really see the true evolution of it until LA happens. Until LA happens, you won't know for sure how people chose to adjust to the idea of these cards being more popular. So you still have to wait for LA to happen to know. You do be living out here. I definitely messed that turn up though really bad. Appreciate 13 months there, Sumringa. Kalshi Betting says Festival League favorite to win NAIC. How does that change the outcome of the tournament now that we all know that? Where do we go from here? That's a real question. Also, do I cat? To cat or not to cat? Even if I just hopped at Hilda here, I wouldn't cat. But I don't know. I'm just gonna cap. I'm just gonna do it. I guess I don't know if they're playing Dusknoir or not, right? Which is kind of unfortunate to not know, but oh well. We don't know what we don't know. Nothing we can do about that. Actually real or just a theory? It is a good deck, yeah. At least you aren't preemptively benching the duck. Sometimes that duck just wants to get in there. Duck is eager. Besides Lucario, what does this deck lose to? I don't even know if it does lose to Lucario. Like we have Mega Froslass. Yeah, I don't think we just lose. It'd be unfavorable, I guess, but. Oh, I don't know what I was thinking there. I thought like, yeah, it doesn't matter what I do here. I thought that like mattered how I sequenced that. I don't know what I was thinking. Definitely does not matter how we sequence that. I think we just swing. I don't know. Find out. We'll see how this goes. Battle Cage is chill. Okie dokie and Garchomp. Oh, Garchomp seems beatable. Played Fish was the Dun to try and use boss's turn. I mean, it's like okay. I don't think it's like that big of a deal though. That is a lot of cards in their hand. I don't know if they're prepared for the Mega Froslass coming up. We'll see. Very cool, very chill. That sucks. Ooh, I mean, that's pretty good though. That's not bad. Also, my opponent needs a Dragapult still. Otherwise, things get a little bit awkward for them. A wee bit awkward. Lopunny has weakness and you can hit 3-10 with Chomp easily. I mean, you put the Hero's Cape on the Mega Froslass. Alright, I mean, our hand's like kind of chill. We'll see, we'll see. I added a Psyduck. That's the only change I've made so far to the build from Prague. A draw from Dun. I don't think I need to. I mean, I guess we could have cycled, right? Want to have Hurt to cycle? I guess they're out of hand disruption, right? Yeah, they are out of hand disruption, so I guess I could have cycled. No, there's no Acerola in here. Although I do like the idea of the Acerola. I don't hate the Acerola. Seems chill. Card hand. I guess they're still gonna stay at a range of Froslass. They're not in danger. They're not gonna be in danger. We'll have to 2-hit the first one. I might honestly just change this to a 60 HP Dunsparce. I've gotten 0 value out of this one being the free retreat one, I'm pretty sure so far. Actually, I don't know if that's true. That might be true. Oh, that would have been a reason to cycle the Dunsparce as well, as I could have evolved these two to Dunsparces possibly, which actually would have been pretty good. I guess if I don't guarantee to have a Dunsparce cycle off of the Lopunny next turn though. I don't know. I'm not sure what's correct there.
Same.
Alright, let's see how this goes. What's the best way to decide between power cards or text versus consistency cards and working on a list before a major? Whatever you think is going to give you the higher win rate at the tournament is what you play. All that matters is win rate. I think the Hops Cram is a good tech inclusion against Crustle. Probably not. Doesn't sound very good. Probably depend on the deck, but yeah, sounds terrible. This hand might just be enough to beat them though, right? Maybe need like one more Wallies. They're down 3 psychic energy right now in a Night Stretcher, so they might not be able to snipe. Oh, they get Risky Ruined. I forgot about that. Alright, it's fine. I have 2 of them. Alright, we'll see what happens from here. It doesn't matter if they KO a Dunsparce either, though, because they still have to KO a Mega anyways. If they KO 2 Dunsparces and the Meowth, they still have 1 prize card left, so it doesn't really change the... it doesn't really change the prize exchange here. You should do Makuhita for your next flavor text again. Want to see Chip Rage again? I could look up... Yeah, that would actually be really funny to do if I could find another... If there's another Makuhita with a good flavor text. I definitely could. Paldean Tauros. I mean, it just depends on the deck. Paldean Tauros can be a fine tech depending on what deck you're playing. Every deck can easily tech for Crustle if they want to. It's not a question on if it's hard to tech for Crustle. It's really easy to tech for Crustle. The question is just, is it worth doing? And the best tech for any deck just depends on what deck you're playing. They also have an 8-card hand here, so if they don't play Acerola, I do just one-hit KO them. They need to like Acerola and have, if they have Acerola plus Dragon Ball tier, honestly, this actually gets kind of tough. I was thinking Hops Cram for Dragon Ball using monkeys. No, that's terrible. That will not be Crustle. I hate Crustle. I mean, to just play a tech to beat Crustle. It's like I said, it's easy to beat. Put like any. There's like a million different basic fire Pokemon you can play in Dragon Ball to beat Crustle. It's not hard to do. It's really easy to beat Crustle. Just play a good fire Pokemon, a good basic fire against Crustle. The Cram is bad, but there's plenty of good techs. Handheld fan. We're fanning out here. Shred does get through Acerola, yeah. I mean, I guess I could Shred this turn, but I feel like I have to Wally. If I don't Wally, I feel like I lose. It's not about hitting through Acerola, it's about losing to not having Wally. If I go Hilda for energy here, I'm not Wallying, which is bad. But maybe we top deck the Wally or Ultra Ball into the Wally. I definitely should have cycled my Dunsparces earlier on a little bit more aggressively for sure. Definitely messed that up. It could be my downfall here for sure. Any deck can tech against Crustle 5 minutes later, not that tech. What do you mean? Nothing I said was a lie though. Any deck can easily tech for Crustle. But there's good cards and bad cards. No lies found. Okay, I need Wally. We need Wally. I mean, I could retreat and hope they don't have boss, I guess. I'd prefer to just get a Wally off this thing, I guess. Oh, I could have kept that Dunsparce, actually. Oh, Wally's Compassion? What mind if I do? Fitty, and then we can just Shred next turn for game, I guess. just miss the cat, clear the Dun. Ooh, that could have been something actually. Yeah, miss the cat and then get the Dun off the board. Yeah, that actually would have been the out if I did whiff the Wally. That would have been the play. You could lose it at Dunsparce? Oh. How do I lose? What do you think is the preferred Arboliva deck to play? Dusknoir or the grass one with Ogerpon? The grass one with Ogerpon. Mega Starmie is just a better version of Dusknoir Arboliva. Anything with Mega Starmie is just like the best version of any deck that you could play with Arboliva. Nah, Victini's busted. Y'all just hating? Nah, the Victini's got to be mid for sure. If you have a slow start, they can easily deal with it, I feel like. Shred bypasses Ace. Yeah, that misplay would have worked. We got another Wally. Just in case we needed it, another Wally. But yeah, missed cat off Hilda plus don't bench Dunsparce would have been an out if I had whiffed the Wally on that turn.